Generosity, a virtue celebrated across cultures, is more than mere giving. It's a profound expression of human connection. The joy of giving transcends material gain, creating a sense of fulfillment that resonates with our very essence. It's driven by empathy and compassion, allowing us to connect deeply with others, fostering community and trust. But generosity also shapes our psychological landscape. It instills a sense of purpose, aligning with our core values, boosting self-esteem, and strengthening social bonds. Research even links generosity to increased mental well-being and reduced stress. In a world often driven by self-interest, the heart of generosity reminds us of our shared humanity. It's not just about what we give, but how we give, the empathy we express, and the lives we touch. Let us embrace the emotional and psychological dimensions of giving, for in generosity, we find not only the joy of connection, but the path to a more compassionate and cohesive society. Maggie, you've seen the impact of generosity from New Jersey to Nepal and beyond. How do you think generosity contributes to building stronger communities?
Oh gosh, I think it's the core of our humanity. I think it's what makes us real, it's what makes us human. I mean, I think we're designed to work together and be together. And I think I don't know, we're in a world with a lot of distraction and a lot of kind of moving away from what's important, what's real, and I think generosity, gratitude in general are just very important things that we need to be talking about and working on and kind of returning back to all of us, staying connected with one another. So I'd say it's pretty important.
Paul, research links acts of generosity to increase mental well-being, reduce stress, even longer life expectancy. What's the science behind acts of giving?
Right, so Maggie is exactly correct. When we look at the human brain, we are designed to connect to others, and we do that by absorbing, mostly unconsciously, signals that tell us about people's emotional states and their needs. So let's take the contrarian view. Let's suppose I'm never going to be generous. I'm just trying to get through the day. I don't want to help other people. So there basically are four things you can do to extend your health span: sleep well, eat well, exercise, and the fourth is have strong social connections, right? So it's people who have that rich social network that actually live longer, healthier, and happier. So how do we do that? We've got to practice connecting to others, and generosity is a way that not only helps us acutely connect to others, but we've shown in published research trains our brain to be better connectors, to be more emotionally open, and to strengthen the social ties with those around us.
It's a beautiful thing. And I mentioned this Maui benefit concert that I held on Sunday. I think that I am not as generous as some of my fellow performers. And I say that because I donated my time and my talents as a performer and an organizer. But some of my fellow musicians and then even the dancers, once the performance was done, they told me, when I get home, I'm also going to make a donation, a monetary donation for this cause. And that's something that they inspired me, because I said, in my mind, I was thinking just our time and our talents were enough. But they stepped it up a notch. And I think that social feedback, sort of, we work together and we push each other to be more generous.
But also, we shouldn't make people feel bad if they're just donating their time or just donating their goods or their money. All that in the published research, all that is actually useful. It gives us that benefit, as Maggie said, that feeling of helping others, that feeling of connection to others, and helps us get through life happier and healthier. And so, yeah, if you can't donate money and you're donating time, awesome. Keep doing that. It works just as well.
I love that, Paul. James, in your work at Kaboom, you bring play spaces to communities and schools that they don't have the funds to build playgrounds for kids. In your experience, how does generosity act as the social glue, fostering a sense of community and trust among people?
Well, Andy, I love how you framed it up front, because it's there's really a difference between generosity and giving. And when I hear you talk about generosity, I hear motivations like community and respect and love and solidarity. And those are motivations that you can use then to come together to change inequitable, unjust systems that are preventing people from living their best lives. There are other motivations for giving that are not so pure: arrogance, pity. And those tend to reinforce the power difference between the giver and the recipient. And at Kaboom, what we try to do is bring people together from all different walks of life in common purpose, working side by side to get a common project done, where everyone is coming to the table with their own strengths. And at the same time, everyone is focused on the same result, which is to change a broken system, not to change a broken person. And I think that that matters a lot when it comes to then what you feel as the giver, right? Or as the person who's generous. It's not that you're better than and you're able to give. It's that you are part of a community. You are in solidarity to achieve a result that's better for everyone.
Paul, I want to ask you about some of your experimenting with oxytocin and even synthetic oxytocin. Is it the act of giving? Is it the generosity? Is it the social aspect of community? And what if somebody's motivation is for ego versus, just trying to give back? Does that matter? Or chemically, or the molecule? Yeah, can you talk about that?
That's the key question, right? So if I give because I am selfish, because I want to extend my health or whatever, or be thanked, does that negate the effect biologically? And the answer is no, which is interesting, right? So this is kind of fake it till you make it. So what we find is that oxytocin, this core neurochemical that connects us to others, increases our sense of empathy, motivates helping behaviors, responds to people's emotional states, and particularly their desire for help. So we see someone suffering, our oxytocin increases. We want to give some help to the other person. Awesome. That in turn gives us a reward. It tells us, hey, this is valuable to you as an organism. Keep doing it. So it does feel good to help other people, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that feel-good signal, driven by another neurotransmitter called dopamine, creates a craving to repeat the experience. So there's this beautiful cycle in which, as I give, I get that positive feedback, and my brain says, oh, you should keep doing this thing. This is important. Now, when we infuse synthetic oxytocin to people into their brains, that feedback loop actually disappears. People actually will give generously, irrespective of their resources. So if we pay them $20 to be an experiment, they'll give away 18 or 19 of that 20. If we give them 40, they give away 39 or 40 of those $40. So it kind of takes the whole blinders off. So we can think of oxytocin as this chemical that dissolves the differences between individuals, right? So if I look at James, I go, well, he's different than me on 14 different dimensions. But if I were to release oxytocin, if he was asking for my help, if he was suffering, those dimensions disappear. It's like he's my brother, and I'm going to treat him just like family. And I think that's really beautiful. This is Maggie's work, right? So Maggie's connecting to these children that she's adopted. They're not biologically hers. And so in the narrow evolutionary sense, why is she spending energy on this? It's because I just met Maggie, but Maggie, you're a wonderful human being. And we know that. And you're getting all that love from those kids, and you can share all that love with other people, not only the kids, but other people around you. So I bet, I'm just going to guess from the biology, Maggie, that you have, and James too, you guys have amazing social networks. You have a lot of friends. You have people that really love you. You have a very rich social life because you've spent your life in service of others. Am I wrong?
No, it's 100% true. And I really like this conversation. I think the old model for charity was like, oh, this poor victim suffering, oh, and then the savior that came in and helped and made it better. And I think what we're all saying is that no, all of us as a humanity, as being interconnected as a community, are coming together with these mutual benefits. And like oxytocin aside, kind of back to what James was saying, like it's good for all of us. It's not giver, receiver. It's all of us kind of building this connection. And yeah, I people often say, oh, you must have sacrificed so much, it must be so hard. And I'm like, no, my life is amazing and rich and full of joy, and it's so fun, and I get to be surrounded by kids, and I found something that I love, and it's purpose driven, and we all need to be looking for that. And it's exciting to move into this new time of let's build our communities together for all of us, because we're only as strong as our most vulnerable, and so we can all be stronger together.
And that's why I love what James has done too, to create places where that just we naturally connect. So we need that connection. And for everybody online, this is all wonderful, and we're getting neurologic value from hanging out together online, but in person, it's so much richer. And if it's in person with play, with class, with school, all that increases that social connection, increases the social bonds, and trains us to be, honestly, better human beings.
I love this. Dr. Love is inspiring all of us to share more love. So let's go to segment 2.